Welcome to Adrift in Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show. Coming off of a 2-week break because I was very busy with working nonstop, but we are back and ready to play some D&D. I'm actually very happy to be here because I need some D&D after the long hours of work. So, our music is licensed through Musicbed.com. Occasionally we use TabletopAudio or Syrinscape for our Ambience. I'm going to have Stefan talk a little bit about some of our partners before we get going with tonight's session.
Oh, thanks, Sean. Yeah,
we
love our partners here at Paradice because they're what makes Paradise Paradise. Our great partners like Underground Oracle Publishing, who is a TTRPG publisher creating new worlds in the Cypher system and beyond. Their current focus is Foxfire, a science fiction TTRPG with a strong emphasis on high adventure and fun full throttle action, where you play as anthropomorphic animals who left Earth behind long ago to take their place among the stars. For as little as $3, you can become a member through their website and gain early access to this developing TTRPG and each of the worlds they create. Next up, we have Eddie Yorke. He is our character artist. He's an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. Excuse me. And recently has been making some art for a card game. I don't know what the card game is, but the artwork is fire. Literally, it's like a fire mage villain. And he shows his process on his socials, so give him a follow. You can visit his portfolio and get in contact with him at eyorke, that's EYORKE.com. And then we've got 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for Dungeons & Dragons and other tabletop role-playing games. Sean has used their non-player character cards. He's used them all, so we need some more. Please, 1985 Games, if you're listening, make some more. They were very fun and engaging to play with. But in the meantime, you can use the code paradiceprod at checkout for 10% off your entire order. You can follow Paradice on all the social media platforms: Bluesky, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, and engage with us there. We've on our Discord, we have old recaps. On our YouTube, we have VODs. They're not all up to date, but that's okay because we'll get there. And when we do, you'll all be so happy with us, maybe.
Especially you, Gassy Goat.
Gassy Goat, we love you.
All right.
Well, that's it for me,
I think
boss.
that's everything. Let's jump into a recap. All right. So, last we left off, which was a couple weeks ago, the Iron and Mana party. I almost said the Wayward Five.
Forget who we were.
2 weeks, yeah. Well, in that 2 weeks, I did randomly watch a random episode of Campaign 1 just because I thought about it. Not the whole episode, but like a scene that I was like, I want to watch that scene again. If anyone remembers when you guys were making the beads to destroy the pillars, Billy Vanya's pillars, or her obelisks, and you were with that the druid, Gideon. And you were making those beads, and it was a big skill challenge. So I don't know. I just watched that for some reason, and so I was thinking of the Wayward Five this week. Anyway, to bring us today, Iron and Mana. Last we left off, had done a little bit more downtime. Actually, we actually finished up all of our downtime in our last session, and then I took some downtime. But Jacques continued to lay his groundwork for influence within Hyven, while Bruce began to finish up some of his secret items as well as his more public projects, while also looking into things at the Academy. Septimus continued to tend to his flock, and Fyrn continued to foster his brave new adventurers and training them and giving them their very first mission, where they discovered, or at least investigated, a more of like a noir cheating spouse adventure than something out in the wilds. During this time, Septimus also replaced his mouth or at least augmented his mouth with something that would allow him to breathe underwater while testing his fears of drowning. More intel was gathered by Jacquette, specifically about the AEC in the Commodore's office, particularly learning that the Avenirian Electrum Company has a strange ship, or some kind of strange ship is affiliated with them in the harbor. A large, sleek ship that has no sails to move. Most likely someone from their headquarters, or also potentially someone from Halcyon, given the technology. Furthermore, he learned that the Commodore's office is trying to get Commodore Umidori back into Hyven, but she seems uninterested in returning at this time. Furthermore, they want to help secure the docks to make sure that they could potentially, probably in case Umidori is a lame duck, try to finally bring the governor into the chaos of Hyven. Furthermore, in the week afterwards, he learned that Mr. Greaves is hosting his own Crescent Heart Zenith celebration, as our party also prepared for the celebration of Ilyuvania's defeat of the Pallid King and the success of the Wayward Five. Furthermore, the Alumno Defiance are keeping to themselves. On the Ilyuvania Rising Day, or the Zenith Day, each of our heroes spent the day in their own respectful way. Particularly, Jacquette participated in the formal celebrations within the Crescent Heart Temple in the Temple District, or the Temple Court, where he sent up a lantern with a note asking Ilyuvania to protect both his old family and his new family, the Iron and Mana, and his family back home. And then Fyrn hosted a feast, inviting all of his contacts, with a little expo hall going on with some of the merchants of Hyven. But at that feast, there were a lot of different people around that visited who have felt the influence of Iron and Mana. Particularly a few folks, though, came up to our adventurers. Professor Firma from the Academy approached Bruce about his artificing work, but had a particular interest in Septimus and his machina augmentations. He eventually confronted Septimus, or at least came up to speak with him to discuss the sort of contemporary hypotheses upon the effects on the Alma soul via augmentation of machina parts. They have opposite theories. Septimus believes there's a beautiful union that comes from combining the soul with material strength. And Firma believes the opposite, that machina augmentations degrade the Alma soul and separate or divide or bifurcate the Alma from their proper soul. Septimus agrees to potentially help test this hypothesis with some of Firma's experiments. But they do not settle upon anything. Before the night is over, Kellen, the crime beat journalist from the Hyven Times, comes to Jacquette at Fyrn's feast to tell him that the Mr. Greaves is shaking the bee's nest in Hyven. He gave a rousing speech at his private Zenith party, and that the people who follow him or are interested in him are particularly volatile, and that at any moment Hyven could turn into a lit powder keg, depending on what happens next in the city. And a lot of these followers seem to be ready to take the fight or their protest to the Admiralty Court, which otherwise has been well shut off and protected by the Commodore's house guard that patrol the area. So, while the party has made many strides in their downtime to strengthen themselves and learn more about Hyven, at the same time, Hyven has become somewhat more chaotic. There's been this brief reprieve during the celebration of Ilyuvania's success over the Pallid King that has brought down some of the violence in the city, but as that celebration's peace wanes and the summer months coming soon with the new year, a lot can happen in this humble city. But we start off at the end of their downtime. the 11th of the Shining Shadow. At least that's the last day of their downtime. So, Iron Man, now that you've gathered some resources, now that you've made some allies, and maybe at least made yourselves known or your power known to enemies, what would you like to do now that we've left downtime? We'll say that it is the morning of the 12th of the Shining Shadow after that week of downtime. So, you've had a week of kind of recovering from, or a week of kind of honestly a more relaxed downtime where you weren't doing as much work, and now you're kind of in the state of getting active. So, what's your first move?
I think Jacquette would have invited everyone to the Gloveless Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Not early in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like an 11 a.m. Call. He would have sent little messengers out. Everyone has a little note, it's time, Iron and Mana. Get a little more active. The Rolling Stone and all that. Please come to the Gloveless Cat for 11 a.m. Aldhalor time.
No problems with that. Septimus would meet there right on time.
Same. As would Bruce.
You all awkwardly get to the door at the same time.
Huh. Hey,
Everybody. Bruce, Fyrn.
Septimus. Are you guys gonna go in?
Yes, I'm holding the door open for you.
Oh. Sorry, couldn't see that.
You're gonna jump through the window. No, I'm kidding.
Ah, my friends, punctual as ever, he says, looking up at like the grandfather clock that sits by the fireplace, and I imagine it's actually 1 minute before. And Jacquette's a little cross as he's still like laying out. Actually, no, he's not laying out anything. He's like, I hope you've all already eaten and breaking your fast, as he's got like a donut or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can
whatever
have a donut.
in his hand.
I was actually happy. I was hoping that. Okay.
Oh, don't worry. Crumpy. And you see in the back the goblin chef.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, what is it, boss? Make something up for Bruce and Fyrn. Septimus, do you want anything?
I'm fine.
I've already eaten as well, but thank you.
All right, and when it's done, Crumpy, send it down. You got it. As Jacquette gestures them all into his little office. And then, not breaking his stride, takes him into his back room. And I hope this is okay. We kind of discussed this as part of the feature of the inn, or the
Establishment.
establishment. Thank you. But there is a secret trap door by Jacquette's bed, and he's like, down here. And you can all file down, and there's a small space, roomy enough for everyone except for maybe Fyrn to stand fully. And it looks like a little covert. There's a big table with chairs around it. You see Reardon there and a few other of Jacquette's operatives that he's had going around. And on a big board on the wall is a huge map of Hyven. And it's colored in with the different, all the districts are broken up and there's colors. You see Mr. Greaves is green, and spread over the Aradunai are like a purple. They're up in Piscators. You've got conflict between green and purple. And yeah, so he's got it all laid out. The different factions, there's little notes with question marks. I almost imagine like Reardon's like stroking his chin as he like puts a little note up next to it for his latest intel. As Jacques, behold, I call it the operation room.
Oh yeah, I saw it from upstairs.
Oh.
Well, you've been quite busy, Jacquet. Kind of like observing some of the notes and stuff on the wall himself.
Well, I mean, I haven't been doing everything. It's really all Reardon and the team. Say hello, team. And everyone's like, hi.
They all like look up from like books and scrolls and notes that they're looking at, and Reardon's kind of like passing through all of them, kind of elbowing them to like stand up straight.
So I take it this introduction to your team and studies, you have a plan that you'd like to propose to the group?
It's not a full plan yet. I was hoping for some input from all of you. We are, of course, the main team, right? And I'm sure that you've all been up to your own machinations, and maybe that will influence where we take our next steps.
Well, ever since the celebrations last week, things have been getting a little bit more hectic on the streets. We still try and protect the small businesses here in the lower districts, but it has been, I have seen more gang activity, just trying to calm things down. Unfortunately, although we are much better than we were, I just don't have enough hands to keep, everything in line.
Yes. Well, that's all thanks to our friendly neighborhood syndicate leader. As Jacques walks over to the board and like takes out a pointer as he raps on the area of the widow's ward on the Otter business. Mr. Greaves held his own Iluvania Rising Day celebration last week, and it seems he's really caused a rabble in the rousers. No, that's not who you say it. He's really rabbled the rousers. No.
No, boss,
Being
that
a
would work.
rebel.
That would work. Rabble the rousers.
Oh, okay,
Rabbling
yeah.
the rousers. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, he's rabbling the rousers.
Or rousing
And
the
causing-
rabblers.
Oh, I like that one better.
Let's go with that. Let's
Ruffling
go with
the
that.
feathers.
Yes,
too-
and he's
that's-
ruffling the feathers.
That's cliche. Sorry. I'm got
only
work
if
to do.
they're Aarakocra or Kenku. I don't know if Twig Snap is there, but or Kenku. And because of that, I think that we've seen more conflict from the syndicate. Now, I need to get my notes out. Where did I put them?
Oh, here they are, boss. Here they are.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. So, we need to stop treating the symptoms of this disease and get straight to the heart of it, right? That means we really need to start dismantling Mr. Greaves' syndicate. But also, we need to take care of the other tumors that have risen up in the whatever that he's created, in the chaos that he's created.
The quagmire.
Look,
The morass. Reardon is just like got so much confidence over the last few weeks that now he's interrupting you.
Okay. Look, I'm searching for words doesn't mean that I always want them.
Oh, sorry,
Let's
boss.
get to
Sorry,
theatrics,
boss.
Jacquet. What's the point you're trying to make?
My point is that while the work Fyrn is doing and what we've done in the past has been great, and it's helpful to show us out on the streets fighting them, we need to take this directly to them. And I think Mr. Greaves will be much easier to handle once we cut away everything around him. So, the Alumno Defiance have been pretty quiet since we kicked them out of the lighthouse. And I think, from my understanding, thanks to Septimus, some of your work with them? Is that correct?
That is, I seem to have appeased the initial confrontation we had with them. They seem to want to have no part in being our adversary, and I don't think they very much care for Mr. Greaves either. So I can't say that they're willing to fully support us, but they surely will not stand in our way. So they are subdued for now.
That's good. They could potentially be an ally in this coming fight if we offer them something in exchange. Now I know that commander
would they
of the
want?
well, we know that they want to leave and go back to Halcyon. And frankly, good riddance, right? Not to say that they don't belong here, but they're refugees looking for their home, and this is not the home that they want. So, we offer them a trade. They help us in fighting against the Syndicate, and I'm sure we can manage to fund their exodus, if you will. I
It could
know
be a
that
gesture of goodwill just to ensure that Hyven also remains a sanctuary for if they need to flee again in the future.
Of course, and I know that the commander at the fort had claimed that Captain Hastings is less of a business-minded leader and more of a, I mean, my word, not his, fanatical leader. I don't know if this exchange will necessarily go over in the way that I would hope, but it can't hurt to ask. And if nothing else, he's had past dealings with Greaves. Any information is good for us.
I think that's a good start. We should think more on it. Just from what I've gathered, especially the one we kicked out of the lighthouse and held for a while. These are soldiers. They definitely respond more to actions than being bought off. Not saying they won't accept coin for funding their endeavors, but I think the respect will come from us doing something more actively. Just a food for thought for now. But they're not our main discussion point right now.
No, but I think what we should focus on is the Aradunai Ascendency. The Ascendency itself isn't as active as we've all seen their goons, the Chroma Fist, right? And there's a degree of separation between the two. However, I've learned that the leader, or most well-connected member of the Chroma Fist to the Aradunai is that... Was he an elf or a half-elf?
He was a human.
Oh. I just assumed, elves are all bad. The human that we met up at Stony Heath. What was his name?
Altair, boss. Was that a
yes,
good
of course,
use of
Altair.
interruption?
No, that is good. When it's information that I've
Okay.
neglected to write down in my notes, as Jacquet is like, I don't have the time for spectacles.
Fyrn's like, I knew that.
So, we could work to maybe further separate the Aradunai and the Chroma Fist by targeting Altair. Additionally, we can try to make peace. I kept a number of those elemental items that we had earned from them. And maybe if we use them in a parlay, we could at least reach a level of understanding. I don't think that they're really friends with Mr. Greaves either. Additionally, they do have Fiora held in custody, and she could potentially be an ally if we decide that we don't want to deal with the Ascendency.
Refresh my memory. She's being held by whom again?
By the Ascendency.
The Aradunai Ascendency.
She's being held
They've
by the
deemed-
Ascendency.
They have deemed her a traitor to the cause, mostly because of our interference, I think, in Stony Heath.
She was in charge of securing the artifact that you all secured, and when you did not, when your deal didn't go through to give her access to it, they viewed her as complicit in your crimes against Aradun, from my research.
Which I think that's a bit of a stretch on their part, but
He's
Fanatics, what are you gonna do?
It's gonna be difficult making, negotiating with them if they think that have already slighted them. But I guess they've done the same to us, so
We
maybe-
are wanted by the Ascendency. They have bounties on all of our heads.
Then it might be easier to make peace with the Chromafist. Is what you're saying.
Well,
Possibly.
I think it's either the Ascendancy or bust. The Chromafist, they're a rabble of thugs. They're
Yeah,
given a
drug
general
addicts.
direction. Thank you, Reardon.
Sorry. I'm just getting used to this being like, I'm gonna stand over there.
Look, I don't totally hate it, but you gotta pick up on the cues. man.
We don't have the rhythm yet, boss. I haven't been in this position
That's true.
before.
That's true. Okay, we'll give it some more time. We'll have more meetings like this. Don't worry. So yeah, the Ragamaroo or whatever the fuck he said.
Well, you had suggested in the past
Drug
of
addicts.
potentially freeing Fiora. We're trying to break her escape.
Well, I surmise that there are still those within the Aradunai proper that see Fiora as a true leader of the group. The Ascendancy seem a bit more fanatical in their reverence and their willingness to hurt, where Fiora was a much softer hand and, I think more speaks to the idea of harmony.
Capture the hearts of the people. How was that?
Exactly.
How was
She was
that?
the people's bard. Thank you. That was good. That was good.
So
He gives him a little high five.
what are we willing to offer the Aradunai if we are to either unite with them against Mr. Greaves or at least come to some sort of compromise?
That's a very good question, Fyrn, and unfortunately one we don't have an answer to. It's our understanding that the Aradunai originally came here for us, he says, gesturing to the four of the party. Why they've stayed and started the Chroma Fist, unfortunately, we were not able to gather that information.
We're working
So,
on it.
A face-to-face... Yeah, we're working on it, and who knows, maybe some more downtime will fix that. But the longer we wait, the more that they can enact their own plans. So I think it's time that we attack these problems head on. So we could approach the Aradunai Ascendency, speak to them on neutral ground, try to reach an understanding, at least understand their motives. Or we can just fuck them up real good like we always do.
I'm very interested in how they're getting all of these magical weapons that the Chroma Fist have been using. If
That's
they're coming
Mr. Greaves.
right, but if they're opposed to Mr. Greaves, I don't know.
I think if I can clarify from our research, they're not allies, certainly not, but they are customers, if that makes sense.
Maybe we could appeal to their greed in that sort of sense.
Ooh.
We could. I hesitate to ally ourselves with the Chroma Fist. Unless
Especially
we get
not
a...
before knowing what their intentions are.
Right.
They have no
And
intentions.
to clarify, I do think there's a distinct difference between the Chroma Fist, the thugs, and the Aradunai Ascendancy.
Well, I meant, yes, them.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Apologies.
I should interrupt
just
him,
wanna clarify
boss.
that we
Not
use the
you. I should
proper-
interrupt him, boss.
No, I should speak more proper, too.
That's okay, Septimus.
So-
I forgive you.
Alright, now you're overstepping.
I know. I felt it in the moment. As soon as I said it, I was like, this is too much. They're going to beat the shit out of me like 6 months ago.
We're not gonna beat you up.
I'm kidding.
Much.
I got work to do. And he runs over to your little agents. He's like,
We have reason
write
to
that again.
believe that if we were to hypothetically try to free Fiora, that her leadership would return to the Ardunai, and that she would want to suppress this breakaway of the Chroma Fist, because it's giving naturalists a bad name for themselves.
It's the Jacquet hunch.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I have nothing better than that. Your reservations are duly noted.
I think that trying to work on a way where you can convince them that Mr. Greaves is the main target of their ire would be the best way to do things. If the Chroma Fists are these thugs and the Ardunai are losing control of them, they'll be looking for some way to hold on to their power, both the Chroma Fists and the Ardunai. And if Greaves is the only one supplying weapons, he's going to have to choose a side.
I think you're misunderstanding the connection here, Fyrn. The Chroma Fist act as a very loose force under the Ardunai. They don't care, at the end of the day, the damage that they do, as long as it's in the name of elementalists. And it does seem like the Chroma Fist's main enemy is the Avenirian Electrum Company, which we haven't even gotten to yet.
Was there a head member of the Chroma Fist? Someone that has sparked this radicalization again?
So
There's not a...
They're not.
I know. There's no lead.
No.
coherence.
Boss, is it okay if I take a second?
Yeah, you got this.
The Chroma Fists are not radicals. They're hooligans. They like the elementally fueled drugs that they're given by the Ardunai, and they like to hurt people and control territory. The Ardunai say, fuck those people up, the AEC. The Chroma Fist says, hell yeah. They don't ask questions. They just wanton violence for gold, silver, and a little bit of drugs. You saw it when you guys got here. They don't really have principles.
But so is there a way we can,
Every establishment must have some sort of hierarchy.
That's the thing. They're not really an establishment in that way. They're chaos. The chaos manifests into just the ill intent of these people who have been unfortunately caught in some wayward path in their life. They were all probably good people at some point. And probably severing their ties to the Ardunai might give them an opportunity to live a better life. But right now, they're being used by the Ardunai, is the way to look at it. They're being used in the same way I was used by Dalen.
Well said.
And Jacquet, through some fear, gave me an off-ramp.
Actually, I think it was Bruce that gave you most of the fear when he teleported you into a basement.
Holy shit, yeah, that's right. And he looks at Bruce, and he's like, hey, buddy. Oh.
Hey.
But my point stands. They are not... I hesitate to just call them thugs, because they could live a better life. They're citizens of Hyven, of Ezia. But they, like me, are being fed stuff and silver to just be violent. I was a bandit. You called me bandit. We fought each other. And the Ardunai are turning them into that by using them.
Now, when we came in to Hyven, we encountered the Chroma Fist, and they used a bunch of these weapons, these magical weapons, that ended up blowing up on them.
Yeah.
In the end, right? And that was supplied by Mr. Greaves, is that correct?
Probably the original source of it.
Okay. Well, I wonder if they're getting any shipments to Ardunai or the Chroma Fist.
So these gangs, this is something I've learned through Jacquette's work for me, is that they hate each other in some cases, but then they are willing to shake hands in other cases.
Right. And what if we damage those other cases? What if we take those supply lines that go to them of these goods and put, like, let's say a bomb in one of them?
Whoa.
Really taint the relationship between Mr. Greaves and Ardunai. Pin them against each other.
They are... I just came up with this term in somewhat of a Cold War when it comes to their territorial control.
So let's light the fuse. Let's get it started.
We'd have to find out who their contacts are between the two gangs.
Right.
It's unlikely to be any of the higher-ups officials, because that would look bad. Maybe it's Altair.
Also, if we're caught, we could have twice as much trouble on our heads. And if we're successful, it's only going to cause more problems for the people of Hyven. There'll be even more chaos.
Fair makes a good point. We
Does
destroy
make
a
a good
major
point.
ship in the harbor, other supplies, food.
What if it's
fruits
not a
and
bomb,
stuff, they're
though?
not gonna wanna come in.
What if you just take out the contacts? If Mr. Greaves and the Ardunai have to reestablish their contact or their clandestine exchanges, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
Another thought is the Chroma Fist feed off the magic items they have. That rush of power.
Yes.
To your point, Bruce, if we take away that magic, it might be expensive, but have you ever heard of an orb of anti-magic? An item I'm just theorizing right now?
I could conceive of it, maybe.
Right, but imagine you take away the magic that is fueling them. It's an easy way to shut them down, since at the end of the day, they're not much more experienced than the average citizen.
Their power does come from those souped up items. It also would prevent the items from exploding upon them, potentially.
It's true. And then they get a
Capture
redemption.
one alive. You can't capture a Chroma Fist alive. It's impossible, so long as their magic items are there. Even if you want to have mercy upon them, the Ardunai have created a perfect attack dog for them. They can also separate themselves from in legitimate company.
So, it brings us back to the initial spark of this conversation. Do we focus on the Chroma Fist or the Ascendency? Because I think taking out one will effectively take out the other. In a way, not fully, mind you, but...
I would vote the Ascendency, right? Get them at the neck.
My thought is also the Ascendency. I feel, going off your Jacquette hunch, Fiora, although we definitely have our theoretical disagreements, I think ultimately she does want what is best for the city. And I'm curious to hear her take about Mr. Greaves and the use of the Chroma Fist are. So, I would say my vote would be to try to free her and establish her again as head as the Ascend or the Aradunai.
Right, but we're not going to free her for nothing. And we need some sort of leverage. We open battle with the Chroma Fists is a last resort, but like you mentioned before, maybe we can find that Altair person and capture him without activating his magical items and use him as a hostage trade of sorts. Or just get some information from him.
Additionally, we don't have to negotiate for Fiora's release. I'm looking at a crack team right here that can easily get in, get out quick.
Whoa.
That is what
You're looking at Septimus and I to join in a stealth mission.
It doesn't have to be all stealth.
An entire stealth plan is not everybody working in stealth. I would have imagined that we were more of a distraction to take eyes away from somebody else who is more inclined to sneak
Or
around.
when we've got Fiora, you're our exit.
As well.
That
And I would
works.
hesitate to, and I understand your sentiments, but given what the experience I've had with Alumno Defiance, it's better to win allies with honey than vinegar. We've already betrayed her once, and for us to make immediate demands may not sit well with her. We can do this as an act of good faith, as in, once again, our paths crossed once, was not once personal. We wish to do good.
I agree. I
believe
want to
it's you.
save Fiora. I believe we owe her that much.
Well, then it seems we're in agreement.
I mean, it's not much, but I can also, I can't do a full investigation, but, I did work with my team on the Urdunai. I can do a one-time sort of check-in with the informants I was using. It's extremely risky, but I might be able to get specific information that you want at a high risk.
Well, we can cross that bridge when we get to it, but it's good to know. Thank you, Reardon.
Side note, mechanically, what I mean by there is that you would be essentially sending Reardon as an individual character on an informant mission that would be very high risk, in the sense of dice would be involved in like his survival/capture sort of thing.
Right.
Just to be clear.
Sure. Now, while we mull over the thoughts of the Ardunai, I just want to bring up some other players for us to think about in our scheming. The AEC, primarily antagonistic with the Chroma Fist and Ardunai Ascendency. Fyrn and I met with one of the representatives, and they were very interested in us taking down the Chroma Fist.
It might be worth just visiting them again. Perhaps we can make some money out of doing this.
Potentially. I will say I don't like them. They're skeevy fucks. There's also a monotony that lingers over them that is revolting and at the same time makes you feel nothing.
Even more reason to take their money.
They're also extremely dangerous, too.
They are. They're probably the most well-equipped individuals in this city, including us. Just
So
given the size of them.
I almost feel like if the grand scheme, as it were, is to get everyone to crumble, all these factions to crumble, we would need the most firepower against them. Is that correct? Or is that Mr. Greaves?
I don't think that we should see the AEC as an enemy in this.
Well, at some
They
point,
are
if
entity.
other factions are not even a player, there's no way we can contest with them, can we?
Well, the one thing about the AAC is that they will work with whoever is in charge.
Thank you. So
Okay.
as long as we come out on top, we can negotiate Because at the end of the day, this isn't their city. They are simply here to earn their coin. And as long as we make sure that we negotiate good terms, then they'll leave once it's safe.
They're
There's
also
always that
not
ship,
causing
boss.
the chaos.
There's always that ship out in the harbor. We don't know fully
That's
yet
right.
about.
And Fyrn, what did you say?
I'm just saying, they're people. Before I moved into the Lighthouse District, it was their agents, although probably too aggressive, upholding a semblance of law on the streets. Although they might not have the best company practices, I feel like they want the people of Hyven to be safe for their own purposes, but it's better
I see
than
your point,
a criminal organization.
and I agree. So they are a tool to be used as needed. So to your point, Fyrn, maybe we can talk to them about earning some extra coin and/or resources to use in the coming conflict.
I could
And
send
then, of
one of my
course-
men over there to see if they have
Okay.
any deals for it, or plans.
And of course, there's always the Commodore's guards and she herself. They hold the Admiralty Court. They are small but well equipped. Not quite as well equipped as the AEC, but still, they hold the high ground, if you will. Though Umadori herself is neglectful in governing Hyven. As we know, Mr. Greaves has made a play for her position and is calling for an early vote in an attempt to move forward his plans, whatever they might be. Fucking the vampire. What's his actual name? This is where you need to chime in. Reardon, the vampire.
Oh shit. Oh my god. I don't remember.
Doyle.
Doyle. I have so many D names. Ducant, Doyle.
Right. Doyle and Ducant in the Admiralty Court are working to both slow that special session of Congress.
You could really view it as Ducant and Doyle are kind of like governing instead of Umadori.
Right. And at the
Ducant
same
has been
time,
keeping it from the governor. Oh, sorry, Bob. I'm so sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna shut up.
Look, in all fairness, Reardon is the one that did all this hard work. He's the one that has been gathering the intelligence, working with the wonderful team that we have here. The best team, I swear, it's the best team in all of all of Asia.
Oh
all
no.
of Alfdo, really.
All of Asia.
And we
All of
make
Alfdo.
the best deals. So it is only thanks to him that I am able to give you this information. But at the end of the day, I do pay for him and give him a place to stay. So he should shut up when I'm talking.
Yes, sir. Wild magic surge. When he's stressed
Cool.
out. No, you do see like a little like weird little like static spark come off of him like as he straightens out.
So again, not a significant player, but still to be considered. The governor as well is making his what do they call that metal contraption that's coming down? A train? Is that correct?
A locomotive.
Locomotive. Oh. An archaeomotive. Archaeolocomocobato. Yeah, the monorail.
A bunco train. No, it's not. The bunco company's
A
not making
bunco.
it.
I think it's
I think
actually.
I heard
The governor
someone
has-
call it
I think it's the Podgen Mobile.
I thought it was a
Ajinmobile is coming in. Choo choo.
Oh my god.
So
But
the
you know.
governor will have a growing interest the closer that project is to completion.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, we're not done, folks. we have the ever-lovely De Leon brothers. I haven't gotten much information on them recently. I know that they are not as active as they once were. I know that they are favorable to anyone opposed to the governor's law and order, but also to Mr. Greaves, as they are rivals in a sense. And they could be used to Bruce's earlier strategy of disrupting imports of magic items. I know we don't like them, but we don't have to like everyone we work with. I mean, geez. Jacques freezes for a moment as he thinks who he should tease, and he's like, no, I don't do that anymore.
All right.
Yeah, just look at Reardon. That stupid bandit.
So, which one of these shall we begin with then? I still say Fiora. That way, if we do free her successfully and try to install her as back at the head of our Dunai, that will definitely take some time to really get her roots back. So the sooner we do that and establish her as coming back into the fold, then we can move on to another puzzle.
I'm actually in agreement with Septimus here. I think, get that in motion.
Fyrn, thoughts?
I agree. I think that we should probably have a established plan, do some scouting before we make any moves, but maybe try and reach out and contact the Ardunai to see if we can negotiate before we try anything aggressive. If not, to just see more about their establishment or, who we're dealing with. I suppose I can maybe rough some people up on the streets, see if I can get some more information.
No need to rough. We know where they're located. We'll send a message to the Red Dandelion. We'll tell them a meeting in neutral ground. How about outside the city?
You could do,
No, what were you gonna say, Reardon?
Oh, you could do that,
I was about to say...
Oh.
No, you go.
No, you go.
I was gonna say Fairhold, and then I was
That's
like,
what
wait,
I was
bunch
gonna
of druids
say.
in nature? Yeah, I figured, but then let's remember, bunch of druids in nature. Maybe we don't go somewhere where they can awaken a massive oak tree that will start to kill us.
It's one of the oldest oak trees in the region.
Right, and I'm sure it's very upset with some of the things that have gone on underneath its leaves.
That's true. That's true. Oof.
On the beach, then, perhaps?
What if they have a sea druid?
That's the problem with druids, boss. Everywhere but the most cobbled and stone-walled of places is gonna be rough.
It's not the most neutral ground, but maybe Harlequin and Chalice? It's small, and they know that we're associated with it, so they'll know that we don't want to start any fights there.
Fair point. I can't imagine anywhere else they'd be willing
Or
to.
we can just say, a mile out of town on the road, just so it's even more neutral.
I think that would probably be best. I don't want to involve anybody who isn't involved.
Fair enough. So, we'll send a message asking the Ardunai Ascendency to meet us, Iron and Mana, a mile north of town on the main road. Do we want to say tomorrow?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, I've got nothing going on, so.
And our intention is to see. Well, what do you expect from this parlay?
I expect nothing, which is the safest way to not be disappointed. But also, I see it as an opportunity to gather some information and understand motives. If nothing else, we can show both the Ardunai and everyone else in the city that we are willing to try peace first. And then when push comes to shove, we'll kick anyone's ass.
Always a backup.
Very well. And tomorrow it is.
Tomorrow at noon sound good? You guys good? Noon?
Fine.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, oh wait, I'm not in this. I can get the message there for them, boss, if you want.
Thank you, Riordan. And here, we can seal it with my new special seal I just thought of right now.
Ooh, what does it look
Where
like?
it's just...
Cat's. Is it the sign of the cat's paw?
yeah,
Or-
it's the cat's paw, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a cat's paw?
It's gloveless.
It's a gloveless, ostentatious cat's
Yeah,
paw.
yeah. A lot of filigree.
Mm-hmm. It takes someone like a solid hour after the wax is cooled. They have to go in
paint
with
it.
a gold leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest line items in our budget for the the gloveless cat is wax. We use a lot of wax and gold leaf.
Hey, you gotta be professional if you want people to take you seriously.
Hey, it looks good. It looks good, boss.
Damn straight.
All right, so Riordan will work on getting the message to the Ascendency leadership so that they can send an envoy or a representative to meet with you tomorrow at noon.
Cool.
So that will. Is there anything else like specific? Is there anything anyone wants to do? You guys want to do to prepare for that? A mile out of town tomorrow at noon.
I would like to go shopping.
Bruce.
I
No, I think that's kind of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you've had time to do the Bunkos modular.
That's a good point. That's a good question.
Couldn't. Well, I mean, it would probably take a
you're
little bit more time.
if there's things you're particularly well, the thing is, I told you that there are sources to acquire these things
Right.
without Bruce using time to make them. Obviously, the most
So-
like secure way to do it and like efficient way for you guys to do it, or not efficient, the most secure way for you to do it is have Bruce make it because there's no noise made by it in the sense of that like every point of contact that's not Bruce for this is a potential leak for a highly licensed magical item from a halcyonic corporation.
Yes.
And I will remind you that when you first started tinkering with the idea of reverse engineering Bunkos, that they send. If you think the Avenirians are well equipped, the magic Pinkertons they send for this kind of stuff are even more well equipped. So working with the black market, which would be through any of your artificing contacts, primarily, I think we were referring to. Oh my gosh.
Cadmus.
Say that again.
Cadmus.
Well, Cadmus is one way because he's into smuggling, being part
Right.
of smuggling. There's
Or
also
do you mean the DeLeon brothers?
no the daily any smuggling
Oh.
group is someone you can talk to. Torcal
Right.
is probably the safest, but maybe
Right.
expensive
Yes.
because he watches his back and doesn't want to do things that aren't worth his coin. The Academy is one way to go through, but that may take more time because they may have a more formal relationship with Bunkos where you're legitimately ordering formal Bunkos things. But then questions might come up if you're not properly bribing people or keeping them quiet. So there's multiple means of acquiring it, and acquiring it at various ranges of quickness versus longness that have to do with your relationships and the type of person you're dealing with.
Okay. So
Torcal,
not in 24 hours.
I would say 24 hours is probably too short of a time to get like a really good solid piece of Bunkos modules.
That's fine. That's fair.
You could always check with Torcal, but it might be a situation where he's like, he has to either get a supplier, or if he has it, it might be from his scrap heap, so it might be a risky module.
Right.
I have a few things. I want to send over one of my adventurers to the AEC just to possibly see if they have any like basically not reveal any of our plans, but see if they have any open jobs for us that have to do with the Chromafists or Ardunai.
Sure.
And I also want to scout out our planned meeting place. I don't think we have a direct meeting place planned out, but I think Fyrn would definitely get there, the day before, just make sure that there's no other, dangers in the area, like anything that needs to be cleared out, whether it be creatures or other groups, or, find a good time. Like, say if noon is like very busy, he might not want to do it that time, Well,
like you won't be able to, since this is tomorrow, you won't be able to scout out at noon, because by the end of your meeting here, you won't make it an hour out of town before noon. So there won't be a perfect like correlation there, but you can scout out the area. It'll be shortly after noon.
And also, exit strategies, ways to get back into the city if necessary.
I'll tell you a head start on this. It's a mile out of town. It's basically a road with like 100 feet on either side of grass that leads into maybe a copse of trees. You're really you're maybe like half a mile from like any sort of cabbage town that's outside of Hyven, of like people who are just like selling things on the road. It's it truly is actually probably as neutral of a place as possible, because there's not really exits. You're in essentially what is an open field and a road, with a half mile back being some people. So like fleeing back to Hyven is like running a mile. So it's like it's not that dangerous in regards to the terrain of it.
Okay. Maybe
but
I'll
also
have
at the same
some
time,
of
it's
my-
not very protective of a terrain.
Right. I might have one of my the adventurers like camp out there.
Yeah.
Just to basically be a scout for us if necessary. If something goes wrong, we'd have another man there. And he'd just be, not in the meeting, but hiding in a bush somewhere.
Easy enough to do. Okay. So AEC contract, scouting out the meeting place.
Yep, Hona's going to camp, and Rosario's gonna go look for deals.
Okay.
So, barring Bunkos modulars.
Actually, swap that. Other way around.
Can I buy ammunition?
Yeah, that you could definitely do. That's easy.
Cool. All right.
Any special ammunition you're looking to buy?
I am looking for everything. I guess primarily magical ammunition, as the Bunkos is not magical, so I'll have to draw from that separate. And if there are ones that do additional, like elemental, like a fire bolt, arrow, interested in those.
Are we in like a day or two of like downtime before we have the meeting?
No. You were sending the message to meet tomorrow. So as long as they accept it, you have 24 hours basically to prepare.
Got it.
Okay. So there is 1 second. Where is it? There it is. There is, of course, like the general just magic ammo, which is basically like if you were to buy a +1 ammunition, +1
Right.
bolts, which is they're uncommon. Let me look at that real quick. Stefan, do you know if
Yes.
when it comes to buying ammunition in the new roles, do you know how many comes in one purchase of ammunition?
I don't know if they specify. I've been looking for that as well.
Because I'm trying to discern pricing here.
Yeah.
I would guess 20.
That's what it is. That's what it used to be. I think they, generally speaking, although they still have the retrieval rules in the new roles.
Well, I'm thinking like a quiver can hold 20 arrows, so weighs 1 pound.
Yeah, and typically the amount you purchase is like around 1 pound.
Ammunition +1, +2, +3. This is, I don't know why I didn't just go here. This ammunition is typically found or sold in quantities of 10 or 20 pieces.
Perfect.
10 pieces of this ammunition are equivalent in value to a potion of the same rarity.
That makes it easier.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that would mean like to get like +1 ammunition, that would be it just says potion, right?
Yeah.
So +1
So-
ammunition would be 150, or is it 50? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, me too.
Like, just take me out of
This is the
D&D
problem.
for 2 weeks, and I'm like,
Well, it's not just that. It's that they split magic
Yeah.
items, which
Yeah.
it's good that potions and scrolls are in the player's handbook. But taking that out of the DM's guide and then saying like, oh no, go look at the PHB. It's like, okay, that's not the right way to do this.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Ba-ba-ba. You know what we're going to do, folks? Because we have a little bit of knowledge searching to do. We're going to take a break.
That's
So we'll
fair.
be back shortly so we can sell Jacquette some magic bolts. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. Our heroes have been plotting their next move in the city of Hyven as their long rest of downtime has ended. And their first target is the Aradunai, the radical group of druids and elementalists looking to reshape Aradun. They have sent a message to them to meet with them the next day at noon, a mile out of the city, to meet on neutral ground, non-hostile. Right now, Jacquet is purchasing an eclectic mix of bolts, while Fyrn is scouting out the location of the meeting. Are there other things folks want to do this afternoon and evening while you prepare? Any other item purchases or other uses of the hours you have, other than nervously waiting?
Who's nervous?
Yeah, I'm gonna be nervously waiting.
God damn it, Bruce.
No, I'm not gonna do that. No,
Yes.
I'm gonna see what I can glean in terms of the area, without going to the area, of course. Bruce
Okay.
is gonna go back to the library and just be like, all right, well, what's the general layout here? Can I get any blueprints? Do they have any blueprints here? Where could she be possibly being held?
Of the meeting place?
Yes.
Of the red dandelion?
Or the red dandelion?
I was initially thinking the red dandelion, but then I was like, what? Maybe a meeting place would be cool too. But no, let's say the red dandelion.
I have to
The
tell
meeting
you
place
all,
is
once
just a
again, the
road.
meeting place is the least
It is
cool
a
place
road.
ever. It is literally not incorrectly called a neutral zone, other than the nature around it. It's a mile out of the city. It means that it's a maybe slightly high traffic area during some trading seasons. It's a half mile from the cabbage town outside, and there's about 100 feet on either side of fairly maintained grassland, and then trees, copse of trees.
Oh, that's what I learned during my time.
And you know who teaches it to you is when Fyrn comes back and tells you that.
And then Septimus is like, I need to make sure myself.
As Septimus goes to look at a spot that he spent his entire life passing by.
That I'm quite familiar with.
Literally his entire life passing by.
Guys are bugging out.
Yeah, Septimus is like, oh, yeah, there used to be a tree there, but they cut it down.
Yeah, right over there.
So I think other than the purchase of some
Yeah, I got nothing.
some magic bolts, you guys are just going to hang out and chill. You do your usual routine until the next day.
Brush your teeth. Toenails.
I have a weird question, Jacquet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you spend like your whole time at the Gloveless Cat when you're not doing other things? Like, do you have all your meals there? Do you sleep there?
I think that he does a lot of social calls. So he's not there 24 hours, but generally you can expect end of the day and beginning of the day, Jacquet is there. And if there's any events there, he's there.
Okay.
Like, you know, traveling bards or something that he's quasi mentoring, but not really.
Okay. So really, it's more of a business for you and less of like a home.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, I guess there are times. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why you're asking as I decide how I want to answer.
I know.
But no, it is mostly that, you know, he spends his days out doing things. But I guess it's more of a home in that he comes back to it every day and he's always there, and he does eat his dinner there,
Huh.
unless he's invited somewhere else.
Okay. That is
Crumpy
sufficient.
knows what Jacquet likes.
Crumpy knows. Crumpy knows. I love that, actually. I love the Crumpy character, and I give you full autonomy to play him.
Thank you. That goes
Unless
out
you want me to play Crumpy.
Liz. No, that's fine. Liz, a player in one of my small campaigns I did, she was a goblin barbarian named Crumpy, and everyone loved the character for a good reason. Thank you, Liz. You're not watching this.
Would you say that Crompy, though, is like a commoner who's just particularly good at cooking?
Yeah, no, Crompy is not a stat block
Cool.
by any stretch.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Crompy is from where's it called? Ferothris, and that's why Jacquet has.
I do remember you saying that you wanted to bring in a Ferothris goblin chef.
Yeah.
Because you missed their
He
cooking.
just really likes goblin cuisine. It's one of the few things
based
in
on
that is not...
based on campaign 1, I imagine goblin goblin cuisine is like really good, like things that are really like slow roasted in like leaves underground. I feel like it's like a traditional like goblin feast, considering they're like, the way they're kind of from the glass fields, the fields of glass.
Yeah.
Almost like they use the sun to help bake it, and when there's drier seasons, they yeah. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Some nice world building.
Jacques, can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, is Crompy trying to poison me? That is a 16.
Okay. Jacques,
Fucking
You're just dead. You're just dead, Jaquette.
no, Jacques, you have a particularly bad case of diarrhea tonight as you get a little bit of
You
food
die.
poisoning, but you above table beat a DC that you needed to beat.
Okay.
But you still are like affected by something, and a means of your body is like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Above table. I
Oh,
think.
it's
Go ahead.
strange. Going into the kitchen, I imagine I use the outhouse, the latrine, and then I come back in through the back to wash my hands, the sink, and Jacko goes, Crompy! Yeah, boss? Your dinner tonight tasted good, but unfortunately it did not agree with my stomach. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, boss. I don't know what to say. Well, it's neither here nor there. Did you use something different today? No, just the usual. Gestures to a bunch of spices and herbs. She goes, huh. Well, okay. I trust you, Crompy, with my life. Because it is truly a bond between owner and chef. Where without you, my life would be forfeit, as my business would go under and I would not have good food to eat. So just remember that. Yeah, okay. Whatever you say, man. I'm gonna go back to cleaning the dishes. Okay, bye-bye. Toodaloo.
And Jacques
Things better
walks
than-
into the building and hears in his stomach another.
As the thought of someone trying to poison Jacques right over his head.
Mhm.
Right over his head. There's no roll necessary. He is too what's the word when you are full of yourself and don't think things can happen to you?
Invincible?
Overconfident?
What was that, Clay?
Jaded?
No, that's
Not jaded.
not really.
Overconfident, I guess, is a good one.
Yeah, there's a word though
It's
that
not
none
the
of us can
exact
remember.
word I'm looking for.
Yeah, there is a
Hubris?
word. Hubris.
Yeah. He is hubris.
Prideful.
That's his new name, Hubris. Jacques Hubris Touchard.
Mm.
I'm
Okay.
also now realizing that we should have totally had the meeting at the bathhouse in my fort, like a bunch of good yakuzas or something.
Ooh, like a Turkish bath.
Yeah.
We're all just
Well, you didn't.
we're all just hanging.
Also not neutral ground.
But we're
also
naked,
not
so it's fine.
But we're naked, so it's fine.
So that neutralizes.
Early episode.
Yeah. Name of the episode. We're naked,
Septimus
but, so
replaced-
it's fine.
I don't think Septimus replaced Little Septimus, so.
What?
What?
We'll get there.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that part.
There's still time.
That's his final ascension.
Little Septimus is his final assumption.
He's like, I'm too tall. I need to be shorter.
Not
That's
what we're going for, but
talking
okay.
for.
Yeah, I know. You need to tell me twice.
So what we were talking about is little
Nope.
Septimus, as in his.
Stop. I will.
Kinda like one of
I
those,
will
like-
make you re-roll the poison saving throw.
Oh, dang it!
Do it.
No, he
Phone
passed. He just made it. He met it. He beat it. I should
Is the goblin trying to poison him?
You don't know. That's the game. Anyway. All right. The next morning comes. Jacquet, you feel better.
Yay!
You all meet up to prepare your path out of the city. So, you make your way to the location.
We are taking the carriage.
You're taking the carriage. You are riding.
It's only a mile out, right?
It is only a mile, yeah.
Yeah, it provides mobile cover, and if need be, a way to get out of there in a safe way.
But
Yep.
we're endangering Clip and Clop.
Brown and maps. excuse
Maps
me.
and brown.
That's what it
So,
was.
and they're expendable.
Whoa, come a long
Maybe
way
for
from
you.
Rocco.
Yeah, Jacquet and Kieran are actually different characters. I don't know if you've noticed.
Complete opposites.
Duality
What?
of Stefan.
I'm just waiting for our axe speaks to get to Hyven.
Baron's bringing him.
Yours
Baron
is
has
still
been
running.
yeah. Baron's on
Let's just
Baron's
say
on
that.
some shitty boat right now with a bunch of axe beaks in the hall. Being like, I don't know why I promised I'd do this. I didn't promise I would do this. Why am I bringing these to you?
No.
No, your axe
Jacquet
beaks,
doesn't want cheddar.
your axe beaks unfortunately are not coming back unless you go get them.
They're roast duck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nom nom.
Anyway. So you're in the carriage. Who's driving?
Me.
Septimus is the only one who has the proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, is there anybody out on that cart with Septimus, or is everyone inside the carriage?
Inside.
I think Fyrn would be out just to show for intimidation factor. He wouldn't be holding any weapons or anything, but he would, still be out there,
Okay.
just to ward off potential bandits. If they see some big guy with armor, they might think twice about robbing us.
Fair.
Not that, 1 hour out of the city is really a big deal, but
Bandotes.
All right.
did we write anything in the note like, come alone, don't bring
No,
weapons?
you guys
No,
just
we
told
just-
them to meet in neutral territory, a mile out of the city on the road.
Did they ever
Yeah,
respond?
it was an
to,
invitation. It was like Iron and Mana seeks to parlay with the Arduni Ascendency.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
If you are
high noon
interested-
duel.
Right. If you're interested, we will be north of the city, an hour north of the city on the main road to discuss.
Okay. So you are in the carriage leaving the gatehouse. They have not replaced the toll there. You actually kind of like pass the like ashen heap of that toll house. And you exit through the broken out gatehouse into the small cabbage town outside where you can just see some temporary
Can you repeat that?
the small cabbage town, which is just like the makeshift buildings that make up
There's a
people.
town outside of town?
It's not a town. It's just the colloquial
Sorry,
term.
there are places outside of town.
Yes, hugging up against the broken down walls are just sort of booths, makeshift huts, like people who don't, maybe are not part of the inner city, or people traveling who are selling goods. Anytime I say Cabbage Town, that's mostly what I'm referring to. Are the things built up against the walls of cities that when they're under siege, they're like, we're gonna set it all on fire.
Is that technically part of Old Brigadier Gate District?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
it is.
cool.
Yes. So you can always refer to the like very tiny Cabbage Town that is sort of like a barnacle on the walls of the Brigadier District. But anyway, you pass through there. And I would say anyone with a passive perception of 15 or higher would notice that there are like, and by that I mean between Fyrn and Septimus and anyone who would be looking out the windows, or if they would be of that persuasion, would see that there are clearly Chroma Fist members in the Cabbage Town who are just sort of present, but not really doing anything, and eyeing you as you're on the road. Perhaps you could consider these the Aradunai's Fyrn in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't follow you. They seem to only be there to intimidate in that first part of your journey out. Sort of a show of presence by the Aradunai. But once you leave the Cabbage Town, and you are leaving on that second half mile, they do not follow you into this area. And soon the Cabbage Town is in the distance, and the walls are in the distance on the horizon. This part of Ezja and Hyven is fairly flat, so you can still see those things in the distance. They're small and cloud and fogged a little bit, but you can see the city from the location that you guys have picked. Fyrn, you look around, you see your 100 feet of grassland around the road. You know where Rosario, you know which bush Rosario is in. Which you would all see at the meeting place is already what you presume is a representative from the Aradunai. They arrived early. You could see a carriage, just like yours, a covered carriage.
Beautiful.
But it is not as fancy as Jacquette's. And it is covered in overgrowth. Like you can see, it almost looks like it was druid crafted. Where there are sprouting flowers off of it. There's no hue marks. Like there's no craftsmanship to it in the sense of like we cut boards to create the walls of it. It is all molded with druid crafting.
What's pulling it?
Great question. What's pulling it, from your perspective, is nothing.
Good answer.
I love that. Sitting in what would be considered the passenger seat or the driving seat is a what looks like a bugbear. Who has very simple clothes on, with no adornments. They are just had their arms folded. As for bugbears, they're probably they're definitely like in their 30s, 40s. The sort of orangish brown of bugbears is not the color of their fur. It's more muted, more of a gray mixed with a really dull brown. They don't seem to have any weapons, but they just seem to be sitting there waiting. As you get closer, you can hear that they're just whistling into the air.
A high sparrow.
But you just hear that whistling is the first thing you hear as you approach, and then you see the bugbear lounging against this druid-crafted carriage with nothing drawing it. From a distance, it would look like someone whose carriage broke down and the horse fled, and they are waiting for help.
Fyrn just looks to Jaquette or Septimus at the thing and just says, "You wanna? Should I talk? We didn't really say who was in charge of this."
No. No. Septimus would bring the cart to a non-threatening distance, halt it, and just reach out, a hand up. Afternoon.
Oh, are we there? Jaquette opens the carriage door and pokes out.
As you poke your head out, you say, "Good." Would you say good morning?
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Yes, because it is afternoon.
It should be just noon.
It's exactly noon, but by the time you say good afternoon, it's about noon and 30 seconds.
No!
The bugbear kind of almost comes out of not out of a sleep, but sort of clearly lounging and was whistling and just leaning back and was,
Oh.
You must be Septimus. I can tell by the corruption across your body.
I would call it a blessing, but glad to hear that my reputation is well known. What might I address you as?
As your reputation is very well known. Very well known, Septimus of the Steel. And you with the horns must be Fyrn, White Eye, betrayer of your roots in the north.
Looking at the Jaquette. Who is this guy?
I think he's gonna say his name in a moment, but he's kind of a prick.
Yeah, he's kind of just describing our friends and then not answering Septimus.
Oh, in a negative way.
Right.
Fyrn says nothing. He just gets off the cart and calms the horses and just stands there. No weapons drawn, just giving him a stern stare.
My name is Zavrok. Zavrok of the Winds.
Zavrok.
Yes.
Well met. Are you the only one that decided to show up from your group?
No, Man of Steel. I have sent to escort our ascendant Iluraya, our ascendant, here to meet with you. She is in the cart. But I must suss you first, before she's willing to speak with such scum.
Okay. At this, Jaquette walks out and he goes, I understand that you may not agree with us, but to come out and insult us to our face? Very poor decorum, my good sir.
There is no decorum between these destroyers of our Mother Earth and those who seek to steward and protect our dune.
To each their own, but just remember that your version of destroying might be another person's version of preserving. So, let's stop with the insults,
I did not realize that murderers and cutthroats cared about politeness and decorum.
Clearly,
Cutthroats.
Jaquette says, gesturing to Zavrok.
Clearly?
No.
Clearly, what do you mean? I do not claim that we do not willing to kill for our cause.
Hey, Sean, on that note, is there anyone else besides her in the cart?
Give me a perception check with your blind sight or tremor sense.
Boo. It's an 11.
Hard to tell. And I would say that itself is information, though. In the sense of, like,
Okay.
it's even hard to discern her in the cart. I have no sense of decorum with you, Iron and Mana. So your jab, it is not cogent. But we are here to speak with you.
Yes. So, if we could start speaking instead of trading insults.
Iliuraira wishes me to understand your proposal before she participates. What is it that you wish to parlay about?
Well, to begin with, we thought it would be a show of good faith to return some items that we had the opportunity to acquire that I think belong in your hands instead. And Jacquette will bring out the... Of course, I threw out that list I had.
It's somewhere in the chat.
items, the elemental
Yeah.
items. There's the charm. There's the spell focus. There's the stone giant's hammer. I believe that's it.
Slightly used.
You sold the only other thing that you had with from them.
The star shooter.
star-
Yeah,
Yeah, they
ring.
didn't care about that.
The
yeah, the
rarest
ring. That was
item of all
probably
of them.
the thing that they
Yeah,
want
yeah.
the most, because
We
we
lost
learned
that.
some of the backstory of it, that it's some kind of token of ascendancy.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. It is probably the most prestigious of all the items you got from them.
mhm.
We lost it.
Tell them you lost. So do you present these or just say that you have them?
Sorry, you keep cutting
Yeah,
out a
you-
little.
Oh, do I really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just at like the end of your sentences.
I think it's because my audio is a little messed up, like my settings. So,
Okay.
Do you present the items or just say you have them?
No, he'll take them out. Maybe ask Fyrn to help with the hammer.
I would imagine Fyrn would pick up all the items and just take them to like halfway between, you know, where where he's standing and where we're standing, and just stand in the middle. You know, give
Yeah.
him like a good 2 seconds, and then like put him on the ground if he doesn't like go to move.
Yeah, like I imagine you like let the maul, like the head of it, hold it on the ground, and then like hold up the dagger and the focus in the other hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like the chain of the focus, like it's hanging down while the dagger is in your hand.
That's right, the dagger of lightning return.
Yeah,
I was not offering that. I had forgotten.
you don't have
that
to.
was from
You don't
them.
have to.
I will. I will, as a sign of good faith.
And he does sit up at this point. Like this whole time, he's been lounging back with his hands behind his head and his legs crossed, and now he's kind of like arms on his knees, leaning forward. Interesting. We've got the materials of our champions who you fought off. One of which is still in your contact's prison cells beneath the city.
We did give a guy to the Commodore.
Yeah, our near ascendant is in the prisons and dungeons of the Commodore.
And rightfully so. They broke the law. They attacked us in broad daylight, damaged someone else's property, not our property, mind you.
The laws of whom?
The laws of Hyven.
The city in which you reside in.
When we arrived in this city, we saw no laws. We saw people killing each other, and we only took our rightful spot to try to instill our own sense of order upon our people in the city.
I don't know if you know what a law is, but typically you don't see them. They're just there.
Also,
That seems
if you
like
look
our
at
other brutish way of looking at it. The law is something agreed upon a single people.
They call it a social contract of sorts. See, when anyone agrees to reside within a space, they agree with their... never mind
he's
that.
right, but I see no social contract, no single people in Hyven.
You're not wrong.
How do you live
That's
in
why we seek to come here to discuss the potential for a united Hyven. One where we can all come to an understanding, and one where we can all work together to be happy and shit. I don't know. Fucking, what do you want anyways?
To provide what is best for Hyven is our objective. Call us cutthroats, and yes, we've been a little brash and harsh with our return to the city, but it is to show our strength. But after, we look to inspire the people, to throw off the shackles of the oppression that are there, and to build something greater. Now, we may have our differences, but I can believe that righteous attitude is embedded somewhere in your beliefs as well.
He kind of chews over your words in his mind as he looks behind him to the cart, the carriage. And you can see his eyes look upwards as if he's calculating. Experienced of you might assume some sort of message spell is being exchanged.
But if you really do see us as just cutthroats, we'll be on our way.
No.
He's thinking, Finn.
That was all very appropriate for like what the signals there were. Of like everyone else being, they're clearly talking. And Fyrn be like, fuck you.
You're taking too long. Give me an answer.
Iliuraya will speak with you. You seem to have a good sense of at least a hope for something. It does not mean we don't think of you as cutthroats, as he looks at Fyrn. And not that we don't view you as someone who is a threat to our Adun. But these are strange times. And he does look around suspiciously when he says strange times.
Quite like follows his gaze, like, what, is something coming?
And the door opens to the cart.
Wait.
Do you have something you want to do?
All right,
Fireball.
Okay.
I just think this is more fitting music.
Yeah. And he, as the door opens, he does look to you all, like Zavrak looks at you all. You sense a moment of expectation to you all, but then he remembers that you're not Aradunai. And he goes, and he looks at you all and says, I would expect some reverence for an ascendant of the Ascendency.
Jacquet does a very deep and formal bow, leaving himself down until whoever has gotten out of the carriage.
Fyrn would do a very casual bow, you know, like something that would be for courtesy.
Yeah,
that you would
not
maybe
a subjugation,
like,
but a courtesy bow, yeah.
right, like, you know, something you would do at a party in the academy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Bruce is still in the carriage with his feet up.
Yeah, just listening and being through the
How did
tremor
you tremor
sense.
sense?
What's that?
I said, how did you tremor sense if your feet are up? But I understand that that's not exactly how it works.
Yeah, tremor sense is weird. Septimus, do you give any kind of respectful nod or bow, or are you resistant with your beliefs?
I am resistant at first,
Mm-hmm.
but always bow his head. Just as,
Yeah.
and just keep it at that.
Bruce, I would say you confidently don't think that Zavrok knows you're in there. Because you didn't really speak that much. We kind of
No.
you didn't get a chance to because of the exchanges. So for your purposes, you can fairly feel confident that like they may not know you're in there.
Okay.
As soon as you all do something to revere, Zavrok knocks twice on the cart. And you see someone step out. They step out, and you first see a leg through a flowing dress with a pale blue complexion and this etherealness to it, as there's almost like light cascading across her flesh. And it looks like light underwater. That's that appearance of the patterned light that glistens on the bottom of like a pool, one might say. But it glistens across her body. She wears no shoes or boots. Her feet touch to the her feet touch to the earth and feel the soil beneath it. For you perverts out there.
Yes.
And she steps out, and that flowing dress is simple as is Zavrok's clothes, but she's anything but simple. The whole body has that shimmering light on water effect. She is tall, nearly Fyrn's height as she steps out. If we're to think like akin to real life comparison, it's like what you might imagine a Greek goddess would appear like in the dress and etherealness. Coming up to a face though that might be off-putting, because while it is a normal humanoid face, her mouth and
A face full of pudding.
is my mic being weird? Off-putting.
Sorry.
They now see you, Bruce.
And they want to kill you.
Suddenly there's a red marker above your head as a hunter's mark appears. Her face, though, is where her mouth is this blue shimmering light coming out. Where her nose would be, there's no nose. There is the two sort of nostrils of a skull, but with a blue shimmering light behind it. Where eyes would be, there are just the sockets of a skull with the blue shimmering light coming through. With hair that comes back in this elemental, almost strands, almost like dreadlocks in a way. But it's strands of this ethereal, almost water-like elemental magic.
Does she have a mouth?
She does, but it's the blue light of the water elemental magic you assume she's infused with. You remember the Aradunai that you turned in had similar features, but were not as aggressive as this. Which makes sense with the ring that was part of that symbol of beginning their ascendancy. You look, and this woman does have a ring upon her finger that bears a blue sapphire upon it. As she sort of lilts out, and every step she takes on the dry soil, there is sort of just this production of water. And the earth is dampened and the soil is watered as she steps. With how tall she is, she's taller than the carriage in that sense. Well, maybe carriage, I don't know, how tall is a carriage? What we
8
say.
feet?
Yeah, I was gonna
Then
say
she's not that tall then, because she's almost as tall as Fyrn. But she steps forward to meet Fyrn in the middle. She runs her hand over an invisible force at the head of the carriage, and you can see where her hand touches, there's almost like an ethereal surface, like she's petting something that you can't see. Her voice, when she speaks, has a vibrato to it. It has this echo to it. It's not exactly like, say, some of the more powerful voices you've heard. There is a flowiness to it, like a river. She would look immediately to you, Fyrn. And she would...
Fyrn would be staring at her, kind of not in reverence, but in like a sort of respect, just continually keeping like a stern face as she approaches. But you would notice that, I mean, like, if anybody was standing next to Fyrn, you would notice that even though he hasn't summoned the Ithildagnir, like, the temperature around him is starting to get a little chillier as she approaches.
And there's even a point, Fyrn, I would say, where she doesn't reach up to touch you, but she reaches to touch the giant's hammer. And it's like, as her hand gets closer, like, the ethereal wateriness of it, like, freezes a little bit to the Ithildagnir's temperature. And little ice crystals form at her fingertips.
When that happens, Fyrn will take a slow step backwards and give a small nod and just say, "My apologies."
That that odd, off-putting, glowing mouth does give you a bit of a smirk. And she touches the maul and says, the first thing she says is, Anuram's family will be happy to receive his weapon back.
He
Yes.
fought bravely.
And our
Albeit
sisters... Go ahead.
Foolishly. Albeit it was foolish of him to challenge us the way he did.
We all fight foolishly in the face of our contemporary threats, White Eye.
I can understand that sentiment. But only if lives are at risk. Can you say that your actions are for the betterment of the lives of Hyven?
Hyven, but a branch on a sprawling tree. Can you say your actions are for the betterment of Aradun?
I cannot, but who is powerful enough to say? I only try what the best I can. It is up to the spirits to judge me, whence I fail.
I see you bear the vestments of my younger rising storm, sister. But not her signet.
Just from that context, am I assuming she's talking about the
The ring.
thorns? Oh, the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Do I even have that on?
No, you guys
Oh
sold it.
no.
No, we sold that.
She
thing. We
said
pawned
when
that.
she says bear, she means what you're holding in your hand, the dagger and the storm focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sean,
Yeah.
can I have Lollyrock, like, just,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, so you
hop
can see
into,
what's
like-
going on.
yeah, just like, doesn't need to fly out, just like, you know, hop like around in the middle
Oh, yeah,
of the
absolutely.
carriage and look out the door,
Absolutely.
just to get a good view of this
Ascendant.
this lady.
Yeah.
Can I surmise after looking at her where she's from?
Yeah, give me you can give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Because I know you've done a lot of research.
Ugh.
Is that what he's been doing?
How about 18?
Okay. From some of your research into the elemental planes, along your research into other planes, this does not look like someone who is, say, native to an elemental plane, but someone who has been infused heavily with the magics of an elemental plane, which you can context clues be like ascendency. They are ascended beyond their mortal coil, their mortal form, to be infused almost wholly with elemental magic.
Sean, the only storm god Fyrn is vaguely familiar with is Eyeless.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a sister. That would be a brother, right?
You could get. You don't need to roll. You would assume she's referring to the early ascendant that you gave to the Commodore's office as a prisoner.
Okay, understood.
When she says signet, she means the ring you guys sold for money.
Okay, just double checking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But does she know?
Does she know what?
Sorry.
Your mic's cutting off the same way mine is.
Damn. Does she know we sold it?
She does not know you sold it. She just knows that you do not have it and you're not offering it with what is supposed to be the regalia of the crew that came for you. You know, who were Ascendency people. You weren't attacked by like bounty hunters. They came as almost an enforcing squad from the Ascendency.
We took measures to maintain order. It is unfortunate that your sister was involved the way that she was. If there is to be truce between us, perhaps we can discuss a way to retrieve her.
Well, let's not offer anything we can't fully back up. As Jacquet approaches and goes, what was her name?
Illyria.
Illyria. Wow, I fucked that up.
I did trip over my syllables when I first said it.
Can you give me a spell check of that real quick?
Iluraya.
I will reach out and hand her the signet ring. As well
You just don't
as
have the
whatever
signet
else.
ring.
You don't have it.
No, whatever else I have in my hand.
You have the focus, the dagger. You have the focus and the dagger.
Yep.
And the maul and the charm bracelet. We're gonna give them the elemental charm bracelet.
Oh
we got
yeah,
from the raccoons.
yeah. That's an extra.
But Jacquet walks forward and saying, "That's not something we can necessarily offer at this time." Lady Illyria, Ascendant Illyria, Jacquet Touchard of Iron and Mana.
Yes, the mouth of Iron and Mana.
Jacquet pauses to think whether he's insulted by that or not, and then moves past it and goes, yes, an unfortunate incident with your Ascendency member, but they did attack us. However, we're willing to let the past be the past if we can speak about moving forward. Together, as I said before, with your friend there, Zavrok, to help Hyven become unified once again. And he gives her his most winning smile.
No. And she looks at you, and she actually walks up to you. And if you don't flinch, she kind of brings a hand up to your face while you're smiling.
He will flinch at the hand coming up to his face as he's just like,
As her hand leaves your face, in response to your flinch, she says, "Some in the Ascendency call you the deceiver of iron and mana."
"Oh? And why would they ever think to call me such a thing?"
Why, indeed.
I'm asking you.
Like the first moment where she's like, you can see on this ethereal face irritation.
Yeah.
As she looks to Fyrn and to Septimus, and at this point you see,
quite a sight.
yeah, at this point Zavrock does get off of the cart and does just kind of stand right behind her, almost across from Fyrn. As sort of just showing that he's present, and he like I said, no weapons on him, but he is, he's as large, if not larger, than Fyrn, as bugbears are lengthy and muscular. And she looks and she says, "And why should we ally ourselves with iron and mana? You've proven yourselves to be, well, not as malleable as some wanton members of the Hyven area. Silver seems to motivate you most, from what we understand. Why should we believe that you wish for a better future for Aradun in our understanding of that?"
Well, see, that's just the problem. You don't know us, and we don't know you. I think sometimes that the world would be such a better place if we all just talked a little more. Instead of assuming the worst, he says, more looking at Zavrock than Illyria, and then going off those assumptions. You're not entirely wrong. In the past, we were primarily motivated by silver. But in this world, silver is what motivates a lot of people and things. However, given our recent experiences to the Gosu haunt, and kind of looking back towards Fyrn, Septimus, and lingering for a moment on the carriage and where Bruce is, we understand that, to your point, there are larger forces at work. And so we believe that a unified Hyven would be better prepared for the coming storm. As I'm sure that's something you all are preparing for. Whatever that storm may be.
Give me a persuasion check.
$24.
Can I add +5 to that by messaging him? Nice job.
I'm messaging him.
I will only allow that because you put Lollyrock out, so you can actually see this and hear it.
Okay.
In that way.
It was on a 17.
Yeah,
and then it teetered over to a number that doesn't matter because I can't get lower than a 10. But it's still upsetting.
She is clearly considering what you're saying, particularly the fact that you mentioned your experience in the north. That's something that most people don't know about yet. There's, of course, or at least confirmations, because you did talk about it in your.
Oh, Jacques Wetz, anytime he's performing, he's talking about our most recent escapades.
And for people who are hostile to you, there's skepticism to it.
They don't even know me. How can they call me the deceiver? They don't even know me.
Yeah, I love that response. I love that like idea of like an internal Jacquet who's just like.
Yeah, Jacquet is still talking, but in his head, he's just fuming. The deceiver? The deceiver? I never deceive anyone. Well, besides that one time. Oh, then there's another time that I lied. And oh, I guess I did tell everyone my name was LaRue for a very long time and assumed an alter identity. The deceiver?
But she sort of like takes a step back and like just sort of like touches Zavrek's arm, almost like from your perspective of the nonverbal language there, it's like a calming, like it's like chill touch, you know, not the spell. Cantrip. Like we can relax a little bit. And you can physically see Zavrok soften. And he gives like a smile to you guys in the sense of like he's almost like, the smile's almost saying like, I'm sorry guys, I was such a dick earlier. And
Do you know why they call me deceiver? No, I'm just kidding.
he's like, oh, I could tell you. I could tell you. But she looks back at you with that face that it has all of the emotional expression of a regular humanoid face, but it's hard to get past the glowing skull aesthetic of it. We have heard of your ventures north. Skeptical, but why would anyone lie about that? What you say is true. Ivan would be better unified. She looks at Zavrok, a single people, against whatever floods are coming. And she looks at Septimus when she says floods are coming.
Jacquet looks at Septimus.
Septimus has just been trying. He wants to say a lot of stuff, but the party has.
Uh-oh. Septimus, the machina is stalling and lagging.
Machina cannot compute.
Could you imagine if that's like actually how like Septimus operated, where it's just like he had like a like an upload and download speed, and sometimes there are blackouts.
Oh,
There you are.
You turned into a machina for a second and lagged and froze.
I am a machina.
You're still a little laggy.
I don't know.
It's okay.
you're
You've
okay
caught up
now.
enough where we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's getting better and better every second. So, what were you going to say?
Septimus has been quiet and is just kind of like has been holding himself for the betterment of everybody. So that's what I was going to say. Following what you.
I got the gist of what you're saying. Every like last 3 words is getting cut off.
Maybe
Might be your mic sensitivity, because it seems every time you kind of lean back a little bit, we lose a little bit of you.
Lean back.
But I got what you were saying. Septimus has got a lot he wants to say, but is kind of holding back.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Hold on.
He's biting his tongue. As
I
it
am biting
were.
my tongue.
Careful, you'll bleed.
Hold on. Is this any better?
It is.
Wait, can you bite your tongue when you've got that
Okay.
fucking rebreather thing on?
Yes.
He
Because
still
it's
has a
an
tongue.
attachment.
He still has a tongue. It's an extension of his jaw. His mouth, inside of his
Oh,
mouth
okay.
is still the same.
Yeah.
yeah, he's like a bop it. It's just like pull it, and then the tongue
No.
comes out.
No, not like that at all.
He didn't replace his tongue. He replaced his whole lower jaw, and
Yeah,
it
like
now
the bottom
creates
jaw's
a
gone.
bubble effect, a spell bubble effect over his face.
All I was trying to get across is that Septimus is being quieter than he usually is. Probably because he wants to say things that he doesn't want to come across as too zealotly.
Yeah. But I imagine when she looks at you though, and she says like, the coming flood, like there might be some minor reactions from Septimus.
Fyrn would actually chime in just to like kind of sensing that he doesn't want Septimus to start, going on a preachy rant like he did a few nights ago. He says to her, "You speak of Machina?"
She sort of looks at you like,
It's
catching your assumption.
Fyrn.
Many forces. Floods that pour out of Halcyon in their influence on impressionable youths. And she looks at Septimus again. The floods from beyond. The punishments of the spirits. For our transgressions as Ulma.
I'm sorry, you saying that because we are Ulma, we are inherently born in sin?
No.
Okay, it's kind of sound like you were saying that.
It is
I
not
never
s-
transgressed.
And there's like also a moment of like the etherealness breaks, and she just gives a like really face.
I mean, depending on how you define transgressions.
And yet there were so many devoted that lived across these lands that were the very spirits that you claim protect them and washed away from a other flood. Not too
Literal
long.
flood.
Thank you. I wanted to literal is better.
We cannot know where the threat lies when it comes to Alma. It is not our place. But all we can do is prepare and unite our powers. Although we may have differences of spirituality, in order to keep the people safe, to grow both of our beliefs, we must band together. We have heard many rumors from many different spirits across the lands of possible contention among the greater spirits in this land and invaders from others. I am not sure what this conflict will grow to be, but I know that we must gather our strength, and now is not a time to be bickering between each other.
Why should the Ascendency ally themselves with you, Iron and Mana? Why should the Ascendancy trust another flawed, broken collection from Hyven? You betrayed Fiora Bendega to her doom. Your city holds enslaved elementals. I see nothing in Hyven worth such a bother.
So then, why are you here? I heard that the Aradunai came for us, but we weren't there. And then you stayed. So clearly there is something keeping you in Hyven. You do see the hope there. And I can't speak to every individual there. I can't speak to the enslavement of elementals. I can't speak to all those past transgressions, but what I can speak to is the average decent person living there, just trying to make their life like we were. And now we have the power to keep them safe. And that's what we're trying to do. And you have the power to keep them safe. Something you're not doing right now with your thugs in the Chroma Fist. So why should you join with us? If nothing else, to keep the people safe. Do you need more reason than that?
The destroyers.
I think so.
The destroyers of Avenir drew us here, along with your betrayal of our Fiora and her naivety. The people of Hive. Yes.
Do we know who the destroyers of Avenir are? Is that just
So the
AC.
Electric Company.
AC.
Oh,
Avenirian Electrum Company. They're calling them the
They're-
destroyers of Avenir. They're since they're destroyers coming from Avenir.
okay.
Not that they destroyed
Okay.
Avenir.
Yes, I was like, wait, Avenir's destroyed? What?
No.
How did I miss that? Okay, cool.
The
Sorry.
destroyers of Avenir
They got cooked.
are those who keep
The
the
Avenirian
people of Hyven.
destroyers.
The Avenirian destroyers. Thank you. That was a better way to put it. She said, let's pretend she said Avenirian destroyers. The
Sure, that
Avenirian
works.
destroyers are who put the people of Hyven in danger. If you wish for our mercy on our price upon your heads, if you wish for some alliance between Iron and Mana and the Ascendency, Avenir must go.
The AUC are a powerful organization. If we were to do as you have done and cause chaos to dwindle their forces, we would only bring more havoc to Hyven. If you ally with us, we promise your voice will be heard, and we will do what we can to
Voices we've been told before by the diplomats of Aldhalor about the voice we'd receive in their chambers when the chambers are built upon enslaved elementals and greed. No. The flood of the Ascendency will wipe clean Avenir from this city, and only then will their people be safe as we've pruned the tree of its dead branches and rot. And that ethereal form becomes a little scarier. In that like you may not be scared, but the clear there's an emotional effect upon her form, where almost the water effect is almost boiling, as opposed to this light over her flesh, as the light behind her eyes and mouth become fiercer, as she almost seems to grow somewhat in size.
Fyrn
Gadriel from
reacts.
Lord of the Rings.
You should have a queen! Beautiful and terrible as the dawn.
I just had to tie it back
I
for
know,
this
I know.
episode.
We always get one.
Yep, there's gotta be one. Fyrn's response is matching her aggression. You could see that there's cold flurries that are starting to swirl at his feet, and he says, "You say you wish to prune the tree, but you're only muddying the soil with your chroma fists. When you create war on the streets with the AEC, what will be left if you succeed? Just drugged out gangsters causing a havoc.
Got it. He brought it back.
You want change, but you go about it the wrong way.
Jackway gets up and starts massaging his shoulders.
What will remain? And there's a bit of a smile and an exhale. She's like, what will remain, White Eye, is Aradun. And that's when the fanatic, that's when you're like, this is not an ethereal, peaceful woman.
What was the last thing she said? I'm sorry.
What will remain is Aradun.
Yeah. Oh, is R. I see. Gotcha.
What do I presume that she means by that?
I will give you a few things you might presume. I leave it to you as the pilot of Bruce to discern what he would think, because it has way more to do with Bruce's personhood of thinking what she means than a lore thing that I can give you.
Okay.
She could mean that the goal of the Aradunai, or at least the Ascendency, is the wiping of all Alma from the face of Aradun for the perseverance of the spirits, or the removal of anyone who disagrees with them. But generally speaking, this is fanatical nihilism, and in regards to the potential for harmony between society and the spirits.
Got it. Okay.
She's not exactly thinking we can find a balance between our current society and respecting nature. It's nature is paramount and deserving of higher authoritative position than what we perceive as our luxuries of society.
Got it.
Tell me, Uriah, have you ever set foot in the academy? Have you seen the work they do there? There are many others who believe in the spirits, as you do, as I do, who think that what the AC is doing is wrong, and study and practice their art to create a life where both the anima and alma can live in peace together. The work they've done ever since I've come to this Hyven has inspired me to look for a better way. When I left the north, the spirits were always to be feared. We never interacted with them, so not to provoke their ire. But I see now that there are those who can find a way to communicate. And there's many spirits in this world. Spirits that wish to be one with our people. To live in harmony. How could you deny those people as non-believers?
Half measures and apologies for Avenirian destroyers, for Zon destruction, for Fyrn White Eye. You have spent a vacation in Aldhalor. You've spent time in Eja, the heart of our movement, the heart of the spirits. But I challenge you to see the destruction of the rest of Aldhalor, the ripping and rending of this Mother Earth. And even worse, beyond these shores, to the grinding machine that is Halcyon that will soon consume this entire continent if nothing is done. I respect you and your ancestry. And in fact, I respect Iron and Mana for your hope. And I once shared it, but no more. Fiora shares your hope, and it's why she is foolish and no longer amongst our ranks.
But why punish her? Why imprison her for her failure?
To teach a lesson that you do not engage in half measures and apologies for the industries of Ulma. Out of respect for your hope, I will advocate for the removal of your bounties so long as you do nothing against the Aradunai's efforts. But there will be no parlay, there will be no alliance. This has taught me that you are only apologists for the machine.
Well then, you've made your position very clear. I apologize, we could not come to a better common ground. Though I respect your right to do as you wish.
And likewise, I take that any sort of business that Iron Mana shall be doing with Hyven, anything that is met with opposition, will be swept.
Say that last part one more time.
Any opposition that the Ardune may inflict upon Iron and Mana directly will be met swiftly. Dang it, I'm stupid.
It's okay.
If you could also see to the reining in of your Chroma Fist, we too see the Avenirian Electrum Company as a cancer of sorts. We have the power to help them or hinder them. If the Chroma Fist stop their wanton destruction on the streets and their constant fighting, I can't tell you how, for I do not yet know, but we will work to hinder the Avenirian Electrum Company and even share some of their secrets with you. Now, I understand this is an informal agreement and one that I cannot fully back up with promises or concrete information. But as Fyrn said, your magic-addled thugs in the streets are a bigger problem than anything the AEC is doing right now to the city. I cannot speak for Ardun as a whole, for I do not speak to it. He says, biting his tongue to not make a joke about like tree hugging and talking with plants and animals. But if you are amenable to this, you know where you can always find me, I assume. Or any of my companions. You can tell any of us, it doesn't matter.
The people are being exploited by the AEC. Just as we wish to find peace with you, we will find a way to find peace for them. And if that means removing them from the city, it will be done.
And the boiling and light dims and almost like a smile returns. Despite your illusions, despite your faults, that hope that Fiora bears and you show here urges me to believe you in this statement. So long as Iron and Mana does not partner with the AEC. And my advocacy holds with the Ascendency. Your bounties will be neutralized, removed. And if you can hinder the progress of the Avenirian Destroyer, it will not go unrecognized by the Ascendency. I will take a cue from you and Fiora and hope that that is our future. But that does not mean the Avenir. That does not mean the Ascendency endorses Iron and Mana.
We understand your position and respect it. And we appreciate you taking the time to come to see us.
But I believe this concludes our meeting. A respectful distance for now.
Fyrn, before, giving up, starts walking away and then turns around before she, gets into her, cabin or whatever, and just says, if you could find a way to show mercy to Fiora. I never wanted things to end the way they did in Stony Heath.
She
I
looks.
just thought you should know that.
As you say that last part, she looks at you, and then she was about to walk away, and as you say, I think you should know that, she looks back and she just says, White Eye, of all of Iron and Mana, you hold the most foolish hope.
He smiles with his scary, tiefling smile, and says, "We are all fools." He repeats her quote about, fools fighting, battles unknown.
We are all fools fighting the contemporary battles of our time.
Yep.
She smiles and enters her carriage. As Zavrok gets back on and sits back and leans, it begins whistling again as the invisible force pulls it past you.
Oh, you mean the bugbear didn't turn into a horse and trot away?
No.
With it? Damn. Could have sworn that was what you were going for.
Oh, he's a druid and he is the horse that carries it. Yeah. That would have been clever, but it's not what I did.
Fair enough.
Well, that could have gone worse.
Could have gone better too.
I expected no compromise with such radical fools. So long as they stay out of our term. And that's the best that they could have hoped for. Am I cutting out again?
Now walking out of the carriage.
I was hoping that Zavrok. I was hoping that Zavrok fellow was gonna throw a punch. That would have.
No, I mean, it would be interesting to see what they're capable of, but I do think that we made some accord. I'm not.
I don't think we should make any accord with them. She's got two extremist views.
You would. She hates Hive and what do you call it? Halcyon the most.
Oh, yeah. I kind of understand where she's coming from, but wiping out everything isn't.
I agree. That's why
Is
we
it
don't
a
like
solution?
zealots.
Yeah.
As a wise, fucking hell, Unthurin man always says, zealots, can't trust them.
It's a good thing I'm not one of those. The rightful voice of...
Everyone
speak the
kind of
truth.
side-eye like,
That's right.
yes, Septimus, whatever you say. But we did reach an accord of sorts. I think that if I can feed them information about the AEC through some of my gather intel checks, that might be enough for them to pull back the Chroma Fist, or at least use them as more of a spear instead of a fucking flamethrower.
Well,
Targeted strikes instead of, as I said, wanton murder and destruction.
even so, I
But then I
like the
we have
ASC
AEC for
keeping them in check.
have it be a slaughtered lamb then.
Wait, sorry, you guys were talking over each other. One at a time, please.
Got it, Bruce, you first because finds you again.
Just the AAC keeps them in check. Kind of like them as a force in general.
And I kind of like them for what they're doing. They provide power to the city.
Yeah, but they're raking the coals, everyone over the coals. They're robbing Hyven blind, slowly but surely.
Not wrong with that.
Not only that, but like, I'm not really considered. I don't consider myself an elementalist, but we've seen the elements. They are living creatures, and to be caged like that.
I agree.
I mean, I know
Look,
I would never want to be caged.
I totally agree. I don't agree with their methods, and I don't agree with what they're doing. It's the lesser of two evils. I don't know.
Septimus has just got like a side smirk. Like, mental.
He looks sheepish as he's thinking about, like, well, I don't really give a shit about the elementals.
If we could somehow get Fiora back into power and control of the Aradunai to manipulate their views in a more idealistic
Based on
way.
this conversation, I don't think the force of one will be able to overcome the collective ascendancy.
Yeah, Fyrn
This
is not
is-
ascendant, right?
No, Fear is not ascendant.
Yeah, then no.
No, but I don't think the Ascendants are a good representation of those of the material plane, right?
To give you guys like maybe a little like context clarity that you can presume from what you've already learned is that Fiora was kind of like an Ezha leader, and the Ascendancy was sort of the totality leader of the Aradunai.
Right. So, unfortunately, as much as I want to rescue Fiora, and we still could possibly do that, at the moment we've reached an accord of sorts with the Ascendancy. Hopefully, Iluraya, I keep wanting to say Iluvania.
I know. I probably should have
Iluraya.
call her Raya for now.
Raya. And wait, is this? I started looking this up earlier. So
I'm sorry.
the voice of the Ascendancy within Hyven is Sonora
Yes.
S.
This is
Okay.
not. Yeah. This is just a representative.
Right. So this is not even the head honcho of the Ascendancy. There's more above her that might be even more zealous.
Correct.
I'm sorry,
And
Jake.
therefore-
What? Are you scared of her?
Who?
Illyria.
I'm not.
What did
Scared
she,
isn't the word I would use.
what did she promise us? That our heads
She
would be
promised. She promised us nothing. Let's make that very clear. There was no clear promise made. But she did say she would work to get the bounty on our heads removed, which I don't really care about. No one's tried to kill us since we've shown up to the city. But if we are able to get some tit for tat, if they can...
She's not going to stop harassing the people of Hyven, and I'm not going to stop I'm not going to stop beating up Chroma Fists if they're causing trouble.
Oh, by all means, if the Chroma Fists continue to cause trouble, but if we can prove to be the better Allman and not engage in needless fighting, it helps our cause as a whole. Remember, this is not just us versus the Aradunai. This is us versus fucking everyone in Hyven. And we have to show them why we deserve, maybe not to be on top, but to be trusted.
Jaquette's right. We have a lot of targets on our back.
You cut out all of that.
We heard
Not
target on our
targets on
back.
our back.
Target on our back is the last thing I heard.
We got a lot of targets on our back. So I had lost my damn train of thought.
I'm sorry.
It
No, it's not your fault.
It might be your Discord may have reset the gate, where you have like certain
Cut off.
volumes cut off.
Yeah.
It might also, I don't know if the fan in the background might be causing a problem.
I don't have a fan in the background.
I thought I heard some white noise or something.
No, it's probably that your noise gate is too high right now. So in your sound settings, I would just turn that off for now. Your input sensitivity.
You'll just cut off
As
too.
he cuts
Testing,
off.
testing, testing. Is this any better?
So far.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
far, yeah.
You never
Well-
come through poorly. It's just at the end of
I
the
know, it just
sentence.
freaking dies.
Do you know what's funny is
Yeah.
I actually think both of us were suffering from the same thing. Is that I had my input sensitivity is set at automatic, so it was automatically adjusting it. If it's at automatic,
Yeah.
it usually cuts you off.
Okay, well, I turned automatic off also, so hopefully it
All right,
helps.
and we both should be better.
What I was trying to make a point was
Yes.
we have a lot of targets on our back, Fyrn. The benefit of this meeting, at least for now, is that the Aradunai are not going to be a threat to us in the immediate future. So during that time, we should take advantage of that and focus on another adversary.
I thought that yesterday we agreed that we needed to whittle down all of these forces before we can attack Mr. Greaves.
Not Mr. Greaves. I'm not saying we attack Mr. Greaves. This meeting was one to see information about the Aradunai. I expected nothing of it, but what we got is, like I said, a little bit of breathing room from being pursued by at least the Aradunai faction. So within that time, we need to focus on another faction.
Another thing is, plans are made to fail. And the plan to ally ourselves with the Aradunai clearly failed. And I don't see an easy way of eliminating them at the moment. I do think that we should still work to disrupt their shipments. Maybe not directly. And if nothing else, we can frame it as disrupting Mr. Greaves. Additionally, if we go after Altair, leader of the Chroma Fists, we're not going after the Ascendency, we're going after the Chroma Fists. They're not the same thing, right? Isn't that what they always say?
Altair was the their Aradunian agent in the Chroma Fists, though, right?
Unofficially, he is an Arad. My understanding is, and Reardon, back me up, wherever you are.
I'm coming,
that-
boss. I'm coming.
It was a type of demotion to lead the Chroma Fist, in that at any time he can be cut off from the Aradunai should that serve their purposes. So while he
That
was
sounds
a
right.
member of the Aradunai, kind of seems like they don't care what happens to him as long as it doesn't come back to them.
So, is this ceasefire good enough for all of you? Should we just let these people continue to
We're
harass
not
people?
letting
Fine.
anything. Exactly like Septimus said, we just have some breather room now. We have time to
This
think
is a
and how we
war
want to
we
strike.
are fighting, Fyrn. Let's see this as a battle win, so we can strategize and tactically make our next move.
I just want to make a move. I feel like there's
Yeah,
too
well, we
much
have to make sure we do the right move.
posturing.
That's fair. You're allowed to think that. But when it comes down to it, we are in a very, very delicate situation. Hyven's ready to burst. If we give... Thank you, Septimus. Is that because of the new mouth?
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's the,
Literally
that was the
blew
air
a
bubble
bubble up and it
popping.
we cannot give Mr. Greaves any ammunition to use against us. And I understand where you're coming from with the Chroma Fist. But if Ilyu Raya is true to her word, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but she may hold back the Chroma Fist from harassing the citizens, as you say. And again, should you see harassment on the street, go ahead, do your thing. But I think us putting our targets on them right now defeats the purpose of this whole conversation.
For now. Yes.
I don't think this conversation was worth anything to begin with.
Well,
Our
that
targets should be the same, to save Fiora.
yeah. Not wrong, buddy.
I think there's a little bleakness that comes over this exchange when there's that final reference from Fyrn of our target should be saving Fiora. Like there's like almost a moral thing that was sort of lost in that exchange, where it's like, yes, there was the potential partnership with the Aradunai, there was the potential parlay, but there's this debt that is a little bit, maybe not for everyone in the party, but hangs a little bit in the air of a person who you don't know the condition of right now, or where she's being held, or what her ultimate fate is. The larger war, as Septimus said, is there's been progress in that sense. The Aradunai at the least have some perspective to hold off their assassination attempts upon you or bounty collection. But there is the question of Fiora always when it comes here. That is certainly a path forward that does not pursue that. But it is a consideration worth pondering for each individual in the party. As I imagine, with that hanging in the air, you get back into the carriage. Maps in brown.
I thought we were on our way back this whole time.
No, I think that to me that feels like a standing out on the earth conversation that you just had before getting back in the cart quietly to consider those things.
We all can't talk in the carriage.
Yeah.
Two of us are inside the carriage, and two of us are sitting up on top.
Yeah, I
Very hard to have a
deliberately said
conversation.
I walk outside of the carriage.
So thematically and logistically, this happens. You start to return afterwards, as
In the cab, the thing is like, can I get a ride back to town?
oh yeah. Rosario comes running over. Wait, boss, I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk. But the cart is gone by the time he can get in.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, boss. I don't want to walk. In the Jacques White voice.
I don't do.
What? But you pass through the cabbage town outside, and there are no more chroma fists there watching you. It's just people hawking wares that they have. Pass on. Yeah.
Oh, continue your.
Okay. You pass
Your worldly description.
Oh. You pass underneath the cracking stones of the old gate into the Brigadier District, heading back towards the central part of town, the neutral ground of Harborside. And like always, you're passing the different eclectic people of the city, all abound. But you notice a few things as you're passing through. Collections of people talking. Papers being passed around from the Hyven Times. They're burning the Jacques part. No. No, but you just notice people assorting themselves, like getting together, talking. And it's as you get closer and closer to Harborside that you hear the rambunctiousness of a crowd. And from Harborside, you can see, looking upwards towards the Admiralty Court, a collection of people outside the gates. That doesn't mean there's some siege happening. There's clearly a group of people protesting against the Admiralty Court up there by the gate. Jeering and shouting.
What's your favorite sign among them, Sean?
Of
all the protesters?
It's like weird because I'm like currently not certain who I even personally side with my own story. I've made a very gray story here, so I'm like, this is not as it's less black and white than real life. Where I almost wanted to say there was like a no king sign, because it would fit with the fact that the Commodore is essentially pushing off elections that are being claimed within the governmental structure of Hyven. Technically speaking, it's a lawless society that the only law is that if a challenger comes, there should be an election. That's basically the only like real documented law of the Aldhalor Islands is if someone challenges the leader, you must go and allow people to make their decision.
I'm a snore, Umandori.
Because it operates the Aldhalor Islands operates like a pirate ship. It has the rules of like you respect each other, you don't fight unless it's like sanctioned fighting. But like the golden rule is a mutiny must be addressed. And the ship is allowed to vote a captain out, and if the captain resists, the only recourse is mutiny.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hyven is one city in all of Ezja, and Umadori is the Commodore of Ezja.
Yeah.
Right? Not just Hyven. So
exactly. No, you're right.
I mean,
what you're assuming is correct. That this
right.
that Greaves' movement would need to extend beyond Hyven.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like Billowgrass, Stony Heath, the Cloud Forest below, like they all would have a say in this election.
Right.
So it's not as like
Ezja
City, exactly. Hyven is the most populated area of the region, but it is the totality of Ezja that would need to oust.
Okay.
Umadori. Yeah, no. Hyven is not going, but that's the thing though, is that Greaves' movement you've learned is that he does not want Hyven to even be part of Ezja.
Right. Yes.
So it's almost a mutiny within a mutiny in that sense. But you return to your various locations, feeling maybe a sense of calm in that you're not immediately next on the chopping block, but no more feeling confident in the future calm of Eja necessarily until you make your next move and who you choose to make that move against. You've learned a little bit about the Ascendency with this interaction, their power structure, what an Ascendant actually is, and ultimately confirmation of what you assumed their goals were, of their fanaticism, versus not really knowing what the face of the Ascendancy is.
Just imagine as we like all go to our separate places, Jacques goes into his basement and then just writes on a big piece of parchment, Zealots, and then puts it over on top of the Ascendancy.
And I think with that, I think we're going to end tonight and prepare for next session. We have to talk about next session, but what Iron and Mana's next move is. Thank you for hanging out with us wherever you are in the world, friends.
Thank you.
I'm right here.
Oh, good. But that's it for us tonight, friends. We look forward to seeing you again, and have a lovely evening, day, afternoon, morning, dusk, sunrise, wherever you are.
Are you watching this?
Rewatch.